Hey Star Warriors, StarGeek here. Everyone is raving about the new Disney Plus show, The Mandalorian. The reviews are almost unanimously positive, praising it for bringing the Star Wars universe to life on television. Well, there's no way that I can miss out on the hype, so today, we're going to be taking a look at the very first episode ever of The Mandalorian, titled The Faithful Wookiee. Let's check it out. Ah, interesting. Disney's finally going back to its roots with some classic 2D animation for this new show. It's a very bold choice. Very cool.
Falcon, do you copy? Come in, Falcon.
It's Chewie, but where's Han?
And they've brought back all those old characters from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. That's pretty cool. We'll finally get more of this backstory on who this Luke space skipper guy is, or whatever he's called.
Which I think might be an improvement.
Really nice attention to detail here, adding 3PO's blinking eyes. I mean, not a lot of people notice that when they watch the live action movies, but here they've got it pretty much perfect. A visit to Planet Jello, sponsored by Kraft Foods.
Maybe I can help you. I am Boba Fett.
Hey, there he is, the titular Mandalorian. Pedro Pascal really changed up his voice for this role. Very bold choice, pretty cool.
Boba Fett, no! He's a friend!
With the Pedro Pascal P alliteration, I should have known that he was somehow related to Peter Parker using that web-slinging stuff. They're really fleshing out the variety of alien species on this show. It's pretty cool. I love the introduction of double-faced bubblegum guy, the Arugula people, and the magic wiggly worm. Those are all fantastic.
Starlog update.
So they finally went for that Star Trek crossover.
Captain's log, stardate 2263.2.
For the
best bounty hunter in the galaxy.
He doesn't really have great aim, does he?
What happened?
I don't know.
Well, somebody must know something.
Wow, Harrison Ford has never been better. He really put his all into this performance, and he better get an Emmy for this.
What's the matter with R2?
I'm afraid, sir, it's because you said Boba is a friend and faithful ally. That simply does not feed properly into R2's information bank.
Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna pause right there. I hate to break this to you, but this is not the first episode of Disney Plus's The Mandalorian. No, in honor of the release of the very first live-action Star Wars show of all time, as well as the 41st anniversary of the beloved Star Wars Holiday Special, a commemoration that I've tried to keep up almost every year, I want to celebrate Life Day today by comparing these two very different shows and giving my thoughts on some of their similarities. I have many videos on the channel discussing the history of Life Day and the Star Wars Holiday Special, but for a quick history, The Faithful Wookiee is a 9-minute cartoon short intercut midway through the infamous 1978 Holiday Special, which is presented in a variety show style. The animation itself is meant to seem like a program that Chewbacca's son Lumpy is watching along with us. It was produced by the Canadian company Nelvana Limited, who in 1985 and 86 would go on to make the very first recurring Star Wars television series of all time, Ewoks and Droids. The Faithful Wookiee is really only notable for one major thing other than being pretty much the only palatable part of the mind-numbing 2-hour-long holiday special.
Remember, every one of the 10,000 terminals on your circuit breaker module is marked in a particular color.
It features the very first appearance of everyone's favorite bounty hunter, Boba Fett.
Settle down. All they do is eat.
The story itself follows the main characters of the previous year's hit film Star Wars, as Chewbacca joins together with Boba Fett in order to find a cure for a sleeping virus that Luke and Han have contracted, only for it to be revealed that Boba was Darth Vader's right-hand man all along.
We'll meet again, friend.
Whatever criticism there may be to say about this cartoon's story or art style, like, seriously, whoever drew Han Solo in this must have had a major problem with Harrison Ford. I wouldn't wish that type of depiction on my worst enemy. The appearance of the very first Mandalorian in Star Wars media is historic. And it's this very cartoon that we have to thank for many of the decisions made in the creation of the real, brand new Disney Plus show, The Mandalorian. The creators of The Mandalorian, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, are both huge Star Wars fans, and they've taken a lot of imagery and story elements from all sorts of Star Wars projects, and the Faithful Wookiee plays into the premiere episode of the show more than you might expect. The suave demeanor and iconic look of Boba Fett have had a major impact on the lead in Mandalorian, the most noticeable element being his uniquely designed shock prod blaster weapon. This is the biggest nod to the holiday special that The Mandalorian's given us, but other references feature as well, such as the appearance of a Cubaz, a Mandalorian at odds with a group of stormtroopers, and a sequence where a Mandalorian fights a water creature that is biting onto a spaceship using his shock prod. It's pretty specific, so I don't think there's any question that was somehow related. Not to mention Horatio Sands' character Mythrol name-dropping Life Day right at the start of the episode.
I was hoping to be free for Life Day.
The more and more that Star Wars references the holiday special, the closer it gets to becoming canon, so I'm still holding out hope. In fact, I probably won't be completely content with Disney Plus until its Star Wars section starts to look like this. One can dream. One can dream. But what I don't have to dream about is the incredible Mandalorian. As of right now, only 2 episodes have been released, but so far I'm loving it. Like every other spin-off piece that Disney's released so far, this show feels like something entirely new in style, yet very in tune with the vibe of the Star Wars galaxy. The spaghetti western aspects of the show mix so well with its science fiction facade, with the most uniquely un-Star Warsy soundtrack to date, something that works really well for it in some moments, and not so well in others. In fact, some elements of the soundtrack even sound similar to the twangs in the music for the faithful Wookiee when we're first introduced to Boba Fett. So far, Werner Herzog's character The Client and Taika Waititi's character IG-11 have been the highlights for me. Seeing the assassin droid in motion made the entire episode worth seeing multiple times, but I'm a sucker for a good Star Wars droid. The episode wasn't quite perfect. I think that Mythrol here belongs in something like Doctor Who or a Marvel movie much more than a Star Wars show, some of the pacing and story choices fell a bit flat, and the special effects don't always meet what I'd consider the Star Wars standard.
You are a bounty hunter.
But overall, it solidly met my expectations. For Dave Filoni's live-action directorial debut, Chapter 1 does an incredible job showing his talents and comfort with the Star Wars property. And now with Chapter 2 out, The Mandalorian is proving that the success of the first episode is no fluke, taking inspiration from Indiana Jones and other films that have close ties to the Lucasfilm brand. And how could I not mention the Baby Yoda thing? I mean, even though it raises some questions about how the lore fits into the rest of the saga,
There is another.
it's still just about the craziest way that they could have ended that episode. With all of that out of the way though, I guess the real question that The Mandalorian evokes is this: do all species celebrate Life Day? If whatever species this blue fish guy is celebrates it, then the idea of it being a Wookiee exclusive holiday seems to be getting stripped. Actually, in George Lucas's original story treatment for the Star Wars Holiday Special, before he gave the story up to these other 5 writers so he could focus on The Empire Strikes Back, Life Day celebrations were held like the Olympics or the World's Fair, where every year a new planet would serve as the host of the festivities. But whatever vision he may have hoped the Star Wars Holiday Special would become probably came crashing apart once Harvey Korman got cast as nearly every role in the story. It's no wonder why he specifically requested that his name be removed completely from the credits, and why to this very day the holiday special has only ever been aired once, never receiving a physical media release of any kind, locked away in the deep vaults of Lucasfilm history, where only George Lucas himself can go armed with a sledgehammer, ready to swing the final blow at any hopes of this disastrous television extravaganza ever seeing the real light of day. And while I doubt that The Mandalorian will ever face a fate this harsh, we can only hope that the show will continue to be something that Lucas can be proud having his name attached to. But no matter what, only one thing really matters today: that you have a happy Life Day, full of blue milk eggnog, Wookiee Ookies, special gifts, caked on makeup, a breakout Jefferson Starship performance, one Golden Girl, a red-robed Sasquatch cult ritual, and one bizarre cartoon. May the Force be with you, and happy Life Day.
I have spoken.
Just one more round, friend, then homeward bound, friend. Don't forget me in your dreams. Just one more song, friend, and then so long, friend. The nights get shorter, it seems.
Gonk, gonk.
Gary, it's been forever. Where have you been?
Gonk, 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 gonk.
You've been gone filming The Mandalorian? I don't remember seeing you at all. Where do you show up?
Gonk, gonk.
That's you? Gary, what's that domed thing you're wearing on your head?
Gonk, 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 gonk. Gonk, gonk. Gonk, 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 gonk.
Oh yeah, sure, it's a very stylish hat.
Gonk, gonk.
No, of course I like it. Very, very chic.
Gonk, gonk.
But Gary, are you gonna be late for the Life Day celebrations? You don't even have your robe on yet.
Gonk, gonk, gonk.
Waiting for a friend? Who could that be?
Gonk, gonk.
Alright, whatever. I'll see you later, Gary. Happy Life Day.
Gonk, 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 gonk. Gonk, gonk. Gonk.